Here's the all-new Kreepy Krauly by Pentair. Comes with all the parts for the cleaner. It's got the weights, it's got the wings, the bumper strap, the seal. Comes with the threaded skimmer adapter, and also comes with the self-adjusting regulator valve for the skimmer. But here's the actual cleaner itself. The first thing we're going to do is put the wings on the cleaner. So you're going to get these wings. You're going to look for the plus on the Kreepy Krauler body itself, and look for the plus on one of the wings, and that one goes on that side. I'll show you the slot on the cleaner itself. So I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to try to get it over that blue notch by pushing in firmly. Can't get it, you might need a screwdriver to kind of help push that in. So I'm going to use a screwdriver here to kind of position it. My hand won't fit there. With the screwdriver you can kind of push it down and back. It's snapped over that. So you may need the screwdriver if your hands can't fit in there. And you can see that it's snapped onto that blue notch right there. Then we'll take the other side of the cleaner. There's like an O, and there's an O on this wing here. We're going to match it up, and we're going to do the same thing. Put the seal on the cleaner. It's marked this side up, so this side goes on top. Get the cleaner now, we'll put the seal on. You want to turn it so the foot pad is facing you. You'll get the seal. You're going to kind of work it around here. Slide it over here. Should stretch over pretty easily. There we go. And you want to make sure it's all the way on around the foot pad here. Next, we're going to do the bumper strap. So you want to turn the Kreepy over like this. The slot right here where the bumper strap goes into, you can see it. I kind of push the seal a little bit, and you can slide the bumper strap in. When you get it in there, it's going to clip. There's two clips it has to go into. So kind of force it. There we go. Make sure it's all the way in. So it should look something like this. We'll take this part of it, and you should be able to snap it right in here and clip it in. You hear that snap, and that's in there. You can adjust the die float assembly. There's two tabs here that you can adjust, turn, position them to restrict the die float. You can see the other one here on this side, the same thing. And it kind of restricts the climbing ability of the Kreepy. So by adjusting these, you can actually adjust how high the Kreepy climbs your walls by lowering it or raising it. Okay, now that we got the Kreepy assembled, I'll show you how to install it in your pool. I'm going to show you how to install the new Kreepy Krauly. I'm going to install it over at this pool here. And the Kreepy Krauly comes with 12 1-meter hoses. Okay, if you don't know how deep your pool is, we're going to check the depth. The depth is important for the weight placement on the Kreepy Krauly. So you want to stick your pool brush in the deep end. You want to go as far as you can go towards the deep end to get a good reading. I'm going to mark that spot with a Sharpie. Okay, then you take a ruler and you'll measure your hole where you marked it. This pool is about 6 feet deep. Okay, and I'll show you where I placed the weights on a pool that's 6 feet deep. And the cleaner comes with 2 weights. You can buy more weights online. This is an old Kreepy weight. You can also buy that version of it. Okay, after getting the depth of the pool, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch the hose to the furthest point in the pool. This one here has a side port right in the middle of the pool here. So I'm going to go ahead and stretch it over to this end here, which I think is the furthest point. Attaching the hoses to the Kreepy, and I'm going to go ahead and stretch it across the pool to the furthest point. Connect the hoses together. You want to have a good connection. You want to push them together. You want them really snug like that. This pool is 6 feet deep. You could put one weight 4 to 12 inches behind the head of the cleaner. I like to put it closer to the head. You want to put this one right here. It just snaps right over the hose. So I have the first weight there. Each hose is about 3 feet. So I'm going to take this hose and go behind the second hose and put the second weight on the third hose where it begins. So this is a weight placement for a pool that's 6 feet deep. You have one right there, and you have one 6 feet back. If your pool is 7 to 12 feet deep, put one more at 10 feet, and if your pool is more than 12 feet deep, put one also at 12 feet. So you need 4 weights if your pool is 12 feet deep or deeper. Okay, I have the Kreepy stretched out to the furthest point, and you want to have one extra hose outside of that point. You can see where it connects right there to the side port over there. You want to also retest it when it's full of water because the hose will be a little bit shorter. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. We're going to submerge the Kreepy. You want to make sure that this first hose is firmly attached to the head of the Kreepy, so make sure it's on there good. I'm going to throw this in the water. What I'm going to do is I'm going to push it down. I'm going to push the hose down behind it to submerge the hose to get all the air out. So you want to do this until there's no more air. So keep pushing the hose down into the water. So you take your wall fitting and you go ahead and thread it in. I have some Teflon tape to make it easy to get out if it breaks. Okay, so you want to come over to the side port and you want to thread the fitting into the wall. Go ahead and open up the lock here on the side. I'm going to stick this hose in. It should lock right in there. Thing to note if you're using the side port, one of the hoses is a female to female hose. So make sure you put that one aside. That one is actually the last hose you're going to use to put into the skimmer. Make sure your pool's off, it's not going to come on. Let's take out the skimmer basket. You may have a dive float like this, float diverter valve in here. Take that out also. If you have a 2-hole skimmer like this one here, it goes in the back hole. You're going to take this threaded fitting and we're going to put some Teflon tape around it to make it easier to get out later. So I went ahead and wrapped that with some Teflon tape. I'm going to go ahead and thread it in. So you thread it in the skimmer. Okay, then we'll take the self-adjusting adapter. This says attach hose to this end, so we'll stick this end into the threaded fitting that we just put in there. You want to kind of jam it in there, that way it won't pop out. Okay, we'll take the lead hose going into the skimmer, and you want to put this shield on it that came with the cleaner. That way it doesn't rub against the skimmer opening. What happens is that the hose will rub here, and it'll kind of wear itself out. This will protect the hose from rubbing on the pool surface. And make sure you grab the right hose for the final hose that goes into the skimmer when you do the skimmer installation. It's the female end. It won't have this end on it, and this goes onto the skimmer adapter. The hose, and you want to slide it through the skimmer over the weir gate. Pull it through over the weir gate, and you want to slide it on to the self-adjusting adapter here. Then you want to adjust this here. This one here is actually in a good position. I'm going to go ahead and turn the pool on. You want to make a note also if you have a side port. You have the control right here for the side port. This is how you adjust the suction. You can raise it or lower it by turning this. Okay, now you want to check the angle of the cleaner. You want to make sure it's a 45-degree angle. So if you're having problems with the angle of the cleaner, you can move that weight back a little bit. That's on near the head of the cleaner. Right now this one's actually at the perfect angle. You'll know if your cleaner's not working right, it'll be tipping backwards or forward. You want to make sure it's at that angle right there. So that's a good look at what the Kreepy should be at. Just kind of get your pool brush and kind of pull the hose over this way. Okay, I went ahead and grabbed the cleaner and I have it right here. You can see that even full of water, I still have the one extra hose length out of the pool. So it does make it a little bit shorter when it's full of water, not dramatically. So that's the installation process of the new Kreepy Krauly. Okay, if your Kreepy is getting too high in the pool and getting stuck on your side port, you can just simply take it out of the pool and adjust the dive float. So remember, this is adjustable, so you can turn this here, keep the dive float in a position like that, so the Kreepy's staying lower in the pool. Or if you wanted to go higher, you can definitely lower, switch down. And by lowering the switch down, it'll get closer to the body of the Kreepy and it'll go higher in the pool. So simply redirecting the return jets down or sideways will help the Kreepy move better in your pool if you notice a problem with it. Eyeball fittings like in this pool here, you can just go ahead and point them downwards here. Turn this one down. You have snub pipes like this one here where there's no threads at all. They do sell a wire return diverter that points the water down. You can install one of those also. And I recommend you get a Pentair leaf trap to go with the Kreepy Krauly when you hook it up to the skimmer or the side port. It has a fine mesh bag to catch debris so the pump doesn't get clogged up. And if you hook it up to the skimmer, you can actually use the white hose that comes with the leaf trap. You're going to use the Pentair leaf trap with your cleaner on the side port. Use the hose that came with the cleaner. Don't use the white hose there, it's not going to fit. And you would just simply stick it into the side port lock like this. If you have a skimmer that's not threaded at the bottom, you're going to need to get this 2-inch hose cone by Pentair. And what you'll do is you'll do the same skimmer installation that I showed earlier in the video. You'll insert that into the skimmer hole, and then you go ahead and stick the self-adjusting adapter into there. That'll hold it in the skimmer. If you have an older type of skimmer and side port combination where there's no valve by the equipment but the side port and skimmer are connected together, you would do the skimmer installation like I showed earlier, either using the cone or the threaded fitting. You would put this in the skimmer hole, and you would actually add this cap that comes with the cleaner on top of this self-adjusting valve here. That way the side port will have enough suction to propel the Kreepy Krauly. If you have a 1-hole skimmer, which in some cases you do, that means the main drain and the skimmer are connected together. You should have this inside your skimmer. It's a valve diverter, and so you want to turn it to where the main drain is off and the skimmer is on full suction. If you don't have one of these in your skimmer, you might have to purchase one, and they sell threaded ones also that thread in. And for proper adjustment, I recommend you clean your filter before you install the cleaner to make sure you're getting the maximum suction, and you can adjust it from there. It's a good idea to turn the main drain suction off to your pool, that way the Kreepy gets maximum suction. Sometimes the cleaners will also get stuck in the main drain if they're activated. So if you don't have a float valve diverter in your skimmer and you have a valve that controls the main drain, make sure that's off. Okay, if you hook up your Kreepy Krauly to your pool and the pool loses its prime, you notice that the pump doesn't have any water in it, you could have a suction leak or vacuum leak. And that means that there's air getting into your system. Usually it's at the lid O-ring. Sometimes it could be at the discharge here, at the intake, at one of the unions, and sometimes on the valves. If you have a valve in front of it, there's a O-ring in the face plate of the valve that could cause that. It could also be that your pump basket is clogged up with debris, or even the impeller is clogged up. So check all that. A good way to check to see if you have a suction leak is to hook up a manual vacuum to your pool and see if the manual vacuum actually works. So go ahead and hook up your manual vacuum and try to vacuum the pool. If you lose suction also, then you know you have an air leak at the equipment, and it's not the cleaner itself. A good way to set the RPMs on your Kreepy Krauly is to put your pump in timeout mode. Go ahead and hit the 4th speed, which is the highest. Usually I set at 3100 on the variable speed pumps. Hit start, and then you can adjust down from that RPM to get the Kreepy moving in your pool correctly. If you have an automated system like this one, you can actually set a cleaner program to run the pump at whatever RPM is necessary to get the cleaner moving for 2 or 3 hours per day.